Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another squad builder where today we've got for you a 1 million coin Prem squad builder, and this is quite a different team. I didn't want to go with like the same old boring meta players. I wanted to go for some different players in here. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the squad builder. If you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up. It does help us out massively. Now, starting off in goal, we have got Alisson. Now, we just said we're going to go with some different players, and this kind of back line might not look like it, but the further forward we get in the team, the more you will see that this team is good. But starting off with the goalkeeper, we've gone for Alisson. Ultimately, with the goalkeeper, it doesn't really matter who you go for. The goalkeepers are all pretty much the same. They're pretty much a muchness, and they all kind of play very similar. I just use Alisson because, one, I'm a Liverpool fan, and two, he's untradeable, so he's just the one that I personally would go for. But I think all the goalkeepers generally do play the same. Then at right back, we have got this Hector Bellerin objective card. Now, my experience so far with this Bellerin card, it's been very, very good. I replaced Kyle Walker and put this Bellerin card. Again, the advantage of having like this objective card is it's free. You know, it only costs you time to get it. It doesn't cost you any coins. So when you're building squads, the more kind of like objective cards and things like that you can put in your team, the more of your liquid coins you can put into better players. But this Bellerin card plays very, very good. I like him. Is he as good as Walker? I think they're very much the same. I think they play very much the same. He does a very good job for me. And yeah, Bellerin is the right back. Now at centre back, we're going to be going with Joe Gomez. I'm sure that is exactly what everybody was expecting me to say for the first centre back. But as we all know, Joe Gomez is so good this year, and the thing is with like the Prem, there's not that many great centre backs anyway. You know, if you was to not use Joe Gomez, who's used? You know, there's not really too many. To partner with Joe Gomez, we've actually got Virgil van Dijk, who again I'm lucky enough to have as an untradeable. Got him a little while ago. Got 112 games on him now. But outside of, let's say, Van Dijk and Gomez, how many other good centre backs are there in the Prem? There's Laporte, you know, there's that rule breakers Laporte, which is decent. But other than that, there's not really too many great centre-backs in the Prem, so there's not really too much choice elsewhere. And then moving into that left-back slot, we're going to be going with Alex Telles. Much the same story when it comes to the left-back. There's not really very many good left-backs. There's again, the rule breakers Van Aanholt, which is a decent card, but 200,000 coins for a left-back, not really the sort of coins I want to be paying for a fullback, certainly in a million coin squad builder. So that back line is kind of like traditional, you could say, in terms of Premier League. You know, Telles, Van Dijk, Gomez, Bellerin, and Alisson. That's kind of the standard sort of back line and defense. We then got at CDM, we're actually going to be going for Paul Pogba. Now, I think Paul Pogba is so good. I actually want to get him in my team because I think he'd be a great CDM, and whenever I play against Pogba, he's super good. You know, the 5-star skill moves is great, and even though he's got 66 defending, he just seems to be so good at making interceptions, and you know, he's only got 64 interceptions, just seems to do a really good job. That, you know, the DMs, you either have to have someone in the Patrick Vieira mold, or you have to have someone in like the Kante mold. So Pogba really fits into that, you know, Vieira mold, and he just does such a good job. He's just so difficult to play against. And definitely somebody I want to look to get into my main squad. It's just chemistry is a little bit difficult trying to work that out. Then moving into the cam position, we're actually going to be going with this Yannick Bolasie. Now, I've not quite got this Yannick Bolasie yet, but it looks like a really good card. Now, the advantage, again, like we said with Bellerin, less coins you have to spend. It's another quote-unquote free card. You know, it doesn't cost you any coins, so you're allowed to spend the money elsewhere, improving the rest of your team. But 5-star skill, 3-star weak foot's a bit meh, but I don't think weak foot is super important this year. I think players that have 3-star weak foots seem to still score a lot of chances anyway. I don't think it's as valuable, the weak foot, as it was last year. High-low work rates are good for a cam. Pace for a cam's good. Shooting, the 99 shot power is amazing. Dribbling is nice. It's a good card. It is a good card. You know, with the right chemistry style, you could make this guy. I would probably be sticking a dead eye on him, boosting that shooting and passing, and or you go for a finisher, boost the shooting and dribbling. But that Bolasie card for a full Premier League squad, I think is a very good cam. It's got all the right skills in all the right places. Then on the left wing, now I wanted to go for something a little bit different, like I suggested. I didn't want to go for like Marcus Rashford because I think that would be a little bit boring. But I went for this Daniel Podence card because I actually just used this in a draft just this morning, and he was really, really nice. You know, is he as good as Marcus Rashford? Probably not. But I just wanted to go something a little bit different. The pace is good, the shooting is good, the dribbling is really good. 33 strength is appalling, but again, I don't think that's super important. But again, with the right chemistry style, with maybe a finisher on him, you know, maybe a Deadeye, he would be amazing. You know, a Hunter, I think actually is probably the best card for this Podence card. And I think you've got them just an absolute machine for that left wing spot. The 4-star is really, really nice as well. Then moving on to the right wing. Again, I wanted to go for something a little bit different, so I went with this Rafinha card. Now, again, with the right chemistry style, he would be a boss. Now, 4-star skill moves is decent, 3-star weak foot, not the best, but not too bad as well. The finishing you do really need to boost. I probably would give this card a finisher, and you'd really boost that shooting up to top tier. The dribbling then would be amazing. Good stamina already, and the pace. Again, with the finisher card, he would be absolutely amazing. Wouldn't really need the passing boost. Passing's okay in the first place, but this Rafinha card looks great. You know, rip to anyone who did that Lucas Moura card, because you can get this Rafinha card, I think, for probably like, I don't even know how much you can get it for, probably like 80k, I think it is, for that, for 96k for that Rafinha card. So really, really good value for that card. It's one of those cards that I look at and think it might not play that well, but it might be a monster as well. And he looks like a really, really good card. Then up front, we're going to go with this new 88 Jamie Vardy. Now, I went for Vardy. Again, I didn't want to go for like the boring standard sort of players that you see. You know, I wanted to go for something a little bit different. And I wanted to go for players that when I play against them, they just seem super good. Now, Vardy, 3-star skill moves isn't great. You know, you do want 4-star skill moves really. So the 3-star skills is a letdown. High work rates are not great either. But his finishing is so good. And his dribbling is really, really good as well. You know, great composure and reactions, which is super important. Good aggression as well. This Vardy is one of those cards who probably not a lot of people are going to use him. But whenever I come up against Vardy, he's like my kryptonite. He's like, especially last year and the year before, he was just one of those guys who just used to screw with me in every game, like all the time. He was so good. And I just think that finishing is so good. Again, with the right chemistry style, you want to boost up maybe his dribbling and shooting. If you want, you can maybe go for a Hawk. But, you know, boost his pace, dribbling, and physical. Maybe that's a good card for him. A Hawk would be the good card, because I don't think you really need to boost his shooting. You know, the lack of skill moves and the work rates and weak foot, that's not great. That has to be said. But I think as just a pure finisher, I think this Vardy card is just very, very good. And then to pair up with Jamie Vardy, I went for somebody else who, you know, wasn't the typical player that you come up against, you know, the Marcus Rashford or a Werner or something. I went for this Wilfried Zaha. Now, Zaha is another one of those cards, the 5-star skill moves, so that kind of makes up for Vardy only having 3. If you've got Zaha and Balassi, who have got 5-star skills. We do have a lot of 3-star weak foots in this team, but I don't think the weak foot is super important. It has its merits for sure, but I don't think it's as important as it was last year. You know, Zaha, though, amazing pace, dribbling is super good. Physicals are okay, passing's okay, shooting is okay. I probably would give this Zaha, I probably would give it a Deadeye. Maybe I would give it a finisher to boost up the shooting and dribbling. But the Zaha card, again, these two strikers I went for because they're two strikers that whenever I come up against them, they seem to give me the most trouble. They give me more trouble than an Aubameyang or a Werner. Maybe not as much trouble as like a Rashford, but they are very, very difficult to play against. And that is the 1 million coin squad builder. So I went for something a little bit different. The defense, you know, you could be seen as kind of standard, the defense and goalkeeper, but certainly the attack, Podence, Balassi, Rafinha, Vardy and Zaha, that's a really unique strike force that you just don't see very often. You know, normally you see the Rashfords, the Sons, the Werners, players like that, so the Salahs, the Mane. So I wanted to go for something a little bit different, and this looks like a really, really fun squad. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this squad builder, and if you do want to use this squad, it would be much appreciated. It looks like an amazing squad, so hopefully you guys will have fun with this. And if you do, let me know in the comment section. Make sure you drop a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.